By the luck of the hockey gods, the Winnipeg Jets somehow were able to get their hands and draft Cole Perfetti. Now, this is something that I never even expected to happen, really. I honestly thought that the top, maybe even 7 of this draft would be pretty straightforward and there wouldn't really be any off-the-board picking because of how solid a lot of these players were. Nonetheless, though, we get to the rate about where I think I would have to say the 8th pick, that was Buffalo, they picked Jack Quinn. A solid pick, don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with Jack Quinn. I actually thought the Jets could go after him. But because of them going with Jack Quinn instead of Cole Perfetti, we were able to get him. We were almost able to get Marco Rossi if it wasn't for those damn Wild picking at 9 before us. The point is, we got elite talent in the draft that we kind of lucked into in a little bit of a sense. And let's see what the future is now. We have a center. We have the second-line center of the future. That is a prospect. That is very true. He is, without a doubt, going to be a huge part of the offense moving forward. Now, I talked a lot about this on my draft stream, and I was talking a lot about it with Jets fans at the time when he was drafted. What makes this such an interesting pick is the fact that he can play center and the wing, and that he's young, and not only is he young, we can now have some room to grow. He can grow into the possible role that Wheeler's currently in right now. Offensively, he could be a great offensive threat and be that first-line presence as a winger. He can settle into that second-line spot eventually and start to center that second line eventually into his career once he gets more settled in. He could be an amazing center. Not only that, he could make the league team next year and only in that 8 games, play a little bit of the second line, play a little bit of the first line, play in the bottom 6, play in the power play, see where he best fits in with the current core now, and then send him and see how it goes. We don't know how the year is going to go because of how players can play, the juniors, so on and so forth, and because of COVID. But if everything was normal, I would say give Cole Perfetti an actual look in the NHL for next year. Give him that 8-game shot that we gave Heinola. Why not? If it worked for Heinola and it was a good experiment to address and basically assess as well where we were with him, why not do it now? Because not only does this bring up huge questions for the offseason because we have a center we've drafted who is good, but now what do we do within trade and free agency? Do we go out and trade for a center who is on a 2-year deal who will be expiring sooner than later so that Cole Perfetti can eventually step into that role? Do we go out and sign a center at a similar contract so that eventually he can share that top 6 with Cole Perfetti and we can balance him out, and eventually when he's gone in free agency and his contract's up, Cole Perfetti will become our center? There's so many options right now for the future of the way that this team is shaping up that it's very, very, very interesting. I talked a little bit about how Cole Perfetti could even eventually slot in to replace the position of Wheeler on that first line. Because now that we have a guy that can play that position that Wheeler has, who has elite offensive upside, we can possibly have the option of moving Wheeler down. Vasalainen has such high pressure on him now to make the team and be in that top 6 because we have another elite prospect in Cole Perfetti who has elite offensive upside. This changes the way we can look at what the Jets are going to plan on doing in this offseason. Other than on the defensive end, where nothing really has changed for the past few months since signing Dylan Sandberg, we know what they're going to be most likely doing. Travis Hamnick, someone like Travis Hamnick, bring in Ville Heinola, most likely with Dylan Sandberg, and see how that works out. That's what most Jets fans can assume is the plan moving up forward for the future of the blue line, unless something else changes and something bigger happens, which I'm all for, but that is at least where it stands right now. Where we get to the questions, which people have kind of been more concerned about, not even on the defensive side, but more on the offense, is what do we do with that second line center spot? And now people are going to be thinking, well, can Cole Perfetti jump into that role immediately? Absolutely not. I think he's a great player, and I think he does have some NHL upside, but if you're expecting him to jump into that second-line center and carry it, I don't think that's going to be the situation. I think he's going to need time to grow like a lot of these players, and that's okay. I definitely see the upside with him. Now, people are going to get nervous and obviously be like, oh, well, what about Laine? He wants to play like this. We still need to go out and get a setter so we don't lose him. Cole Perfetti should not only excite Laine, but should make him consider the future of his team. Playing with Scheifele is something Laine wants to do because of the offensive upside Scheifele has compared to where he was in the second line with Little and even other 4 centers this season, even more particular because of Little being out for almost the whole year. He wants to play with a legit offensive threat. If Cole Perfetti can develop into the capabilities that he has and he can become an NHL ready player within the next couple of years with that offense, that's the guy that Patrick Laine could easily be a 50-goal scorer with. Cole Perfetti could easily become a really high point totaling guy playing with Patrick Laine. They could have great chemistry, and I could really see it working well. I could even see him playing really well with Kyle Connor, and that's really good for the future because that also gives us flexibility within the top six. We no longer have to hope that first line of Connor, Scheifele, and Wheeler will be broken up. We can assume that it will be because of the potential that Cole Perfetti brings to that top six. A dynamic top six is a modern-day NHL's team's worst nightmare, and the Jets are literally one piece away from getting that, a center. And of course, we draft a center who was not projected to go to us, who has elite offensive upside into an offensive core that already is probably one of the most elite offensive cores in the National Hockey League. There's a lot of upside with this pick, tons and tons and tons of it. There's nothing really wrong about this pick whatsoever. It doesn't change the direction of the team moving forward. It doesn't change the fact that we still need a second-line center to play next season. We still need to fix the defense. All this does is literally just boost the next year on. Like when we drafted Heinola, I was excited about the future because it was a defensive prospect who I believed in. And then when I saw him, I had the hype grow even more. With Perfetti, it's the exact same feeling. We still have holes we need to fix, and I believe we will in free agency or via trade, hopefully not with Laine. And then we have a guy like Cole Perfetti in the basement waiting to come up and burst through and just take us and elevate us to even a further level when he's ready. And that is what makes this pick so exciting. Another offensive weapon to add to a literally basically a top six full of first liners. What other team couldn't want more than that? What are your guys' thoughts on this pick? What do you guys think the future of this team is going to be moving forward now? Do you think it changes, or do you agree with more of what I think, that we just have a more dynamic future and a brighter future moving forward because of him, but it doesn't change the fact that we still need these things now? He's not going to be a guy to slot in, like I said, and make a difference right now, I don't think, although I would love to see that. It's going to be something that affects us a little bit further down the line, not even that far, maybe even a year away. That being said, I still think he gets the 8-game look, but let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you think he'll even play with the Jets next year? Do you think he'll get any time or even a look at all? What do you think they do now with free agency? Do you think they even bank on going out and getting a center, or do you think they figure out a way to use Cole Perfetti as a rookie and figure out a way to make that top six work? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, as always. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, as always, definitely consider dropping a subscription. If you're a fan of hockey, regardless of the team, this is the place to subscribe for all your hockey news, trade rumors, drafts, live streams, anything to do with hockey in the NHL, we cover it here. With all that being said, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about this draft and Cole Perfetti and how happy you were that we drafted him and what you think the future will look like down in the comment section below. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Take care. Bye-bye.